Welcome back to DEGN Talk. Today we have a long-awaited guest, Suji from Mask Network. Hello, Suji.
Hello, and my pleasure to be on DEGN Talk. I'm not DJing, but I know so many DJing friends.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. We've been arranging this for quite some time, I think weeks, if not months, and it's such a pleasure to finally have you. Yeah, so without further ado, I would love if you can give us a rundown of what's happening at Mask Network and a brief intro of yourself as well.
So Max Network has been doing decentralized social networks for a while. We started since 2016. That time was the first administration of Trump, right? And that time was internet was very different that time. It was still quite free then. It was still quite free, and very few people do decentralized social network. We're one of the first group that really dedicated doing decentralized social network or decentralized entertainment, decentralized communication. And ends up, it's been almost 10 years. It's now like 9 years. We start full-time build mass network. Um, in 2021, we launched our token, governance token called Mask, and now it's widely trading in every major venue. But we also have other arm, like we have venture arm, we have MA, we have a little bit everything together, just to create a better ecosystem. I still think like the financial use case of um, cryptocurrency is not the most important one. It's not the holy It's not the holy thing we should chase. We almost finished the financial application of crypto with stablecoin, with the ETF, with DeFi, but there's not enough, real day application. There's not enough non-financial applications. And that's what we do with Mass Network. It's been a fun journey, years. And for me, I was an independent journalist. I was in fashion model. I was in independent journalist. I was in media. I was in computer stuff. I was doing everything, and ends up I drop out and jump in crypto full time around 2016, 2017. So that's my story. Happy to be here.
Awesome, awesome. That's amazing. You are one of the most special person in Web3. From people that I've spoken to, it's like, oh, you gotta meet Suji. He is so cool. He is a unique. He's got a unique view of the space as well. Yeah, and I can see where that's coming from. Um, what would be your current focus right now at Mass Network?
So our current focus is to gather things together, is to integrate things together. Um, Honestly, I think now we have a lot of decentralized social protocol, or people focus on decentralized social network. Like we have from Web 2 to Web 3, we have activity path that is on Fediverse, that is on that's compatible with like Mastodon, Thread, which is the Facebook one, all the way to Blue Sky, which was a spin-off from Twitter. And now it's raising VC money, and then to Lens, which is fully on blockchain, to Ficaster, which is more Coinbase Mafia Fox, and then there's other unique stuff, right? You can't call it decentralized social if you want, like True Social. It is somehow decentralized at the beginning when President Trump was deplatformized. Well, this is definitely not decentralized right now, but you can call it like free speech platform. Well, we have a variety of different platforms, and they have a spectrum of ideology, point of view.
Mm.
Like people on Blue Sky would never talk to people on these free speech social network. And now we have Twitter. We have Facebook is doing Thread, as I say, is compatible with the Fediverse, with the Mastodon, right? There's no
Yeah.
one really dedicated in bridging them together. There's no organization systematically have a mandate to put things together. For many reasons, because they're in the early stage, or because they want to compete and they want to win with other people. For us, we don't really want to win against other people. We just more want to put things together. We just want to put things together that you just don't need to worry about all these different things. You just can go and jump in decentralized social network, decentralized, a more independent and independent cyberspace. No matter you're from Bitcoin people like Noster, forecaster, blue sky, it doesn't matter. Whether it's from left, you're from the right, it doesn't matter. That was what we focus right now. Which on the product side, there's a flagship product called Firefly, Firefly.social
Mm.
that I believe Vitalik is using it a lot. He probably said that several times. It's a nice app. Everyone should try it on mobile phone. If you have your iPhone there, just download Firefly Social, Firefly Space Web3. We also have our merchant acquisition and venture arm, which is very unique. I know a lot of people in the early cypherpunk community, yeah, Bitcoin Maximus, they're against VC. They're just saying, hey, VC is evil, like, venture capital is evil, and those shitcoins are evil. I can agree that a lot of these things don't really make any sense, and I think, like, as a venture capital operator, you have to dish this duty to your LPs. So you have to squeeze the value, right? Squeeze the value out of the projects. But since we both operate projects and we operate VC, we operate MA, we do things very differently. We do things very differently. So recently we acquired the largest client on Lens, not only the largest client, but largest app on Lens called Orb. That we were
Mm.
one of the investors, but we step in because now, like, the majority shareholder, and we become the owner of this project, Orb. And we also invest off land, so we partner with them and just keep doing this thing for consolidate. No matter hate VC or not, no matter hate, like, more than capitalism game or not, you have to agree that we should not waste our resources on the same thing again and again. So when we
Yeah.
start doing client, we were the one that helped created the iOS app for Mastodon. Mastodon was the largest decentralized social app, and even Trump, again, is on the right side, but, like, even Trump 2 Social was stolen Mastodon's code. But our iOS app of Mastodon was built on us. So we don't really care which one win. We just want them to flourish together, to thrive together.
Yeah.
So that's our venture on business for acquisition, consolidation, very different. So that's what we do. Try out the product, Firefly.social, or Orb is really cool. Orb.Club, yeah.
Yeah, no, this is you have a lot going on, and it's really exciting. Suji, can you put the camera down a little bit so we can reduce the headroom, but above your head
Mm-hmm.
just a little bit? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd
Mm-hmm.
be perfect. Great, great. Yeah, which brings me to my next question. Really, is about Mask DAO, right? Mask DAO now governs five major projects, right? You have Mask Extension, Firefly app, you got Next.id, right? Web3.bio, and then your latest member, obviously, the Lens Orb.Club, right? The Lens social app, right? I know you've probably touched upon this previously, but yeah, do you want to talk about Mask DAO? Because I know this is recent, this is very new, right?
Yeah, we just um, we just kind of, like, learn a lot from those success Web2 companies, or even, like, traditional conglomerates, that over time they transform themselves into nonprofit foundations. Like, you see Ford, the majority of the major shareholder of Ford was Ford Foundation. Now Ford Foundation
Yeah.
is the one of the most successful nonprofit entity that's helping the world, right? And the
Mm.
DAO concept, in my opinion, is similar to this kind of transformation. You transfer from a business gradually into a bunch of holders, a community, and eventually into a nonprofit and a evergreen entity that help the young generation and to thrive the business as well. So that's Mass DAO. We don't really have a plan at the beginning. We were thinking about, like, we should do something cool about social network, and we were lucky that in 21, the crypto world is, in the 2017 and 2021 cycle, the crypto world is very different. If you have fancy idea, people just come, just directly DM you. So I got a random DM from one of the co-founder of Ethereum, Hal. He was we were talking on
Wow,
Bitcoin, I
nice.
guess, and one day he just randomly sent us money. And again, there's no investment. He's not investing our product, just sending money. And I was like, hey, thank you. And then we invite him to some
Mm.
events. There's other people like Balaj, before, pre network state Balaj, and he was very helpful on many aspects. Um, Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, yeah, and
Yeah,
also
yeah,
like
it's cool.
Binance, yeah, Binance CZ. We were talking on his yacht in
Mm.
Singapore, talking about decentralized social network. That time, Twitter was not owned by Elon. I was suggesting him you probably should buy some Twitter stock, but that was pretty low. That's 20 billion that time. Twitter stock was only 20 billion. And we just gather all these resources, and we luckily have a huge treasury and have a big team and have a mission together. And now we're just using this mission and using this treasury um, to keep building decentralized entertainment and non-financial use case social networks. That's where the MaxDAO was formed. But in the future, eventually, it will add to the DAO holder, no matter you're just token holder or no matter you're like, our grantee. We did many things together from donation to grants. And we also, one of the few entities that really donate to education. We're a donor of like UC Berkeley, China, UVI, Illinois, and CU border of Colorado.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so we just think like, no need to donate to those like Twitter kids. We need to donate to the real educators and just get young people understand what's going on with crypto and with decentralization. So that's the main style. On the business side, there's still many things we need to learn. We're far from success. We're far from like, the states of SoftBank and Tencent, but we just want to be one of these decentralized conglomerate of decentralized social. So that's why we're learning their strategy of having venture arm, have business arm, have MA. That's what we do. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, no, I think it makes a lot of sense. A lot of big projects nowadays are kind of going to this DAO kind of format because it really kind of, you prove to your community that you are decentralized, right? And then, everyone progress together, and then we innovate together, and then we build together, basically. And I think that's really important to kind of further our space. So on that topic of community, what's in store for your users and your communities, and what's a rough future roadmap for 6 to 12 months for Mask?
Yeah. For now, I still think it's more important to do integrations. Again, um, if I remember correctly, around 8 months ago, the Fancaster founder Dan was fighting with
Mm.
the Human Rights Foundation guy, who's a big supporter of Nostr and Bitcoin. They're just fighting on Twitter. Hey, my app is better. I'm tipping. Like your app, like your Bitcoin people, Lightning Network sucks. You're just tipping people's sats. What is fucking sats? Like we got base chain, we have stablecoin on base chain, we have USDC. Um, well, I do agree. Like somewhat like Dan's point, like, hey, people probably prefer stablecoin over Bitcoin, but like, like you guys are fighting on Twitter. Okay, that's the hilarious part. You guys like you're two big supporters of decentralized social network just fighting on Twitter, and you are using the Twitter app that controlled by Elon
I
and
love the
like
fights on
was built
Twitter.
by
I
Jack
love
Dorsey.
those
Like
fights and
that's
the shit
crazy. Like
talking.
yeah, yeah, and these dudes have no like these two dudes have no idea how Twitter API works. It's like when the Ficaster team tried to do some Twitter integration, they just failed because they don't really pay attention to it. I'm not saying Twitter is great. I actually think it's they're doing a lot of things wrong. And I definitely think Facebook was evil. Like not sure right now, but was evil for a pretty long time. But they're successful on the business side. They have billions of people using that. If you don't learn and you don't know how they work, even just the API, even just the algorithm, you're just gonna be fucked. Your decentralized app, no one cares, and no one cares whether like ECR is more superior or Bitcoin is more superior. For us, in the next 6 to 12 months, in our Flash app Firefly, we just integrate Blue Sky. because I know people on Blue Sky don't like crypto. They're not crypto fans. They're like, they hate Trump, they hate like Republican, which is fine. I don't really have an
Yeah.
opinion on that. I think people deserve free speech. And I think people should have a place that against the censorship being deplatformized. And I do think Blue Sky is doing a great job. I believe like like their CEO Jay Gruber was still following me. I'm not I'm not pissing him off. But there's no one doing the integration. So what about we just put Bitcoin,
Mm.
Ethereum, for caster dance, even choose social. If if you mind, you can just delete it. If you don't mind, you might want to see what Trump is doing right now. And Blue Sky
Mm.
together, all in one app. Why not? And we just learn your preference, and we use like decentralized AI edge computing to do like notification and algorithm. And again, that's all we learn from TikTok, learn from Facebook. You can't tell people, hey, you don't need algo, you don't need like recommendation. They get used to that. Just like you can just if you get used to fried chicken, you can't tell people don't eat the burger. You need to present them
Yeah.
something better than burger. Okay, that's how things
Yeah.
work. So for us, that's the next 6 to 12 months. Luckily, that we are pretty good at management our treasury, so we still have a good treasury. We still like do things step by step. We might go out and do more acquisitions. That's rare for a lot of teams, so we're still doing good on that. Yeah.
Awesome. On the topic of social app, right? You've just acquired Orb.Club, right? Um, what's your plan on that specifically for that social app from your angle?
I think Orb app users more like Instagram users, and for Firefly and Mask user, um, the image are more typically like Twitter user, like they're male, energetic male, nerds, geeks, and they're fighting on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Which one's better? And Orb users are more Instagram style user, like just posting pictures, collecting items, collecting digital items, and having fancy UI, adding cool friends. That backs to the pure social network journey. So very different group of people. Yeah, I do think like right now the whole crypto social or decentralized social is super male centric, and I just like a bunch of Silicon Valley white guys. Blue Sky might be different, but it's still like quite male centric. Mastodon is still like you have probably a lot of like LGBTQ community, but you don't have really good artist community. It's not enough. And for Orb, we just love their design. We love the vibe. So and also they're in a difficult shape when we approach to them and realize we need to consolidate the effort together. So that's
Mm.
why we eventually become the owner of the app, and but eventually I guess they will have their own cool roadmap on getting some users that other app don't have. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, no, I think what you're doing is pretty insane and really amazing, right? Instead of being a KOL, right? Why not own a platform? It's like what basically Elon did, right? It's like I might as well just buy out a whole platform. So I think owning a social media platform is actually really powerful, and you can use that as a tool in your arsenal to push anything you like, really. Um, so any alphas from the big man Suji himself, up and coming from any of your products, any of your DAOs or anything, any campaigns up and coming, maybe?
Yeah, like honestly, like there's many of us. I think if you're a founder, definitely there's too many things you can do. Like there's interesting news today. Just released like Twitter X will have a partnership with Polymarket. I believe
Mm.
that's only for data. They're not gonna have the prediction market for now for the compliance reason, but even just data is pretty fun. I don't really see like just for example, I don't really see any cool app have the um, betting data, have the prediction market betting data on mobile phone. Firefly is probably the only one. The other one is probably 0x people. Maybe we are also shareholder. Maybe only one or two. That's the only thing I know. And I've been trying every social app and every consumer app. So, well, this is a very obvious feature. You want to check out people betting, people like, what they do on the prediction market on mobile phone, and there's no one doing that, right? And the same thing happens for DAO voting. Like if I go to Optimism Foundation, I have a lot of Optimism OP token, or I have a lot of Orb token, I have a lot of ZK Sync, have a lot of Bitcoin Mass token. I want to do some voting, like I want to do like voting for DAO. Maybe there's not enough voting, maybe just like not enough people interested in voting, but there's still actively people voting on some stuff, right? Some proposals. I think ENS did a great job. There's a lot of votings there, but again, there's no funny app, no cool app to check out, and I do believe Firefly is the only one. We don't want to do everything ourselves, but just when we look out, see, hey, can I see who vote? Can I see what Vitalik vote on some DAO proposal, like last month? I don't see any app compatible of doing that, right? So we just have to build a lot of things. So there's still huge opportunities, right? And again, before the Twitter before Twitter polling market thing came out, there's even no one think about this. Like, what if we can add a Twitter bot, have a nice UI for the polling market? There's no one think about that. So there's still a lot of innovation to do. And now, it might now be the rocket science, but it's still very important.
What's your view on the current market landscape right now? The AI, the meme coin, and all that. What's your view on this?
It's quite. I think it's kind of like terrible that actually like all the good things go IPO. Like like Circle go IPO, which understandable. They raise a lot of equity. They have to do IPO. But if all the good things go to stock market, it's just only meme coin left in crypto market, right? And there's not enough serious builders. By serious builder, I mean do not issue coins easily. Do not issue like a new stuff easily because people are gonna buy it. For us, we've been like building Max for almost 10 years, and Max token has been trading for almost 6 years now. I'm not saying it's good. There's a lot of bad things. There's still a lot of things going to improve. I was just thinking for a lot of young founders these days, they just hey, I got a token. I'm gonna issue a token. I'm gonna issue
They
a
just
token for
want
this
quick
like
profit.
launcher app. Yeah. Again, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
it's not like that. You have to respect the game. You have to be careful. So that's my
Yeah.
alpha, just to building more cool apps. One big concern, just too many tokens. It's not to feel it's too many. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So, what would be
Hmm.
your tip to up and coming builders and devs that will want to maybe work with Mask or build with Mask?
We have all the things open source. Most of the things are open source. If you really want to do something on top of our technology, you can go check out web3.bio, web3.bio, api.web3.bio. Actually, it can link the Web2 identity and Web3 identity all in one, and they have the social graph, fancy social graph, fancy like identity graph. That's something pretty fancy. Check it out, and that's really fun.
Yeah, I'll be linking all of that stuff into the tweet below anyway. Yeah, I think this really concludes this episode of DEGN Talk. I would like to thank Suji for the wonderful time you've given us. And to the audiences, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.